Hello, friends. Have you ever felt that you want to do something big in your life, but you do not understand how? Do you think that only talent and intelligence guarantee success? If yes, then you will be surprised to know that the greatest people of history like Leonardo da Vinci, Charles Darwin, and Benjamin Franklin did not achieve their success only with their inbuilt talent. They followed a special pattern, a process that can make any ordinary person extraordinary. Today we will talk about Robert Greene's best-selling book, Mastery, which will teach you how you can become a master in your field. This is not just a book, but a roadmap that will help you recognize your ability, improve it, and then create a unique identity for yourself in the world. If you think that mastery means only becoming an expert in a skill, then you are wrong. Real mastery comes when you understand your passion and purpose so deeply that you can overcome every challenge, turn every obstacle into an opportunity, and increase your ability to such an extent that people recognize you. We started looking at him as a legend, but the question arises whether mastery is possible for any human being. Can we also become like those legends who have got their names recorded in the pages of history? Robert Greene tells us that mastery is not a secret, but a scientific process. If you understand it and start working on it, then no power can stop you from becoming the best in your field. In this video, we will explore those important insights of this book, which will tell you how you can recognize the talent hidden inside you, how you can create your own identity in the world by developing your skills, and most importantly, how you can achieve that level where the world salutes your ability. In this journey, we will know how Leonardo da Vinci transformed his curiosity into his strength. Since childhood, we will learn how Mozart was passionate about music since childhood, and he transformed his creativity into his mastery. We will see how the world's greatest scientists and inventors became extraordinary by following a special pattern in their lives and became the best in the world. The special thing is that this video is not just a book summary, but is going to be a transformation experience. If you watch this video till the end, you will get the secret of mastery, which can completely change your life. So if you want to do something big in your life, if you want to recognize the real potential within you, if you want to create a different identity for yourself in the world, then this video is for you, because mastery is not only for great people, it is also for you. Let's start this exciting journey and know how you too can go on this journey of mastery. Chapter 1. Discover your passion. Discover your calling. When you come into this world, a unique ability is hidden within you. Your mind, your desires, and your abilities are completely different from anyone else. But as time passes, society inspires you to follow a certain path. Parents, teachers, and friends all start telling you that there is only one way to success. They say get a secure job, don't think too much, don't take risks. But have you ever heard that voice within you that says something else? It is that voice which pulls you towards a particular thing, which inspires you to take pleasure in a particular work since childhood. It is nothing but your inner calling. It is that signal which tells you what is the real purpose of your life. If you remember your childhood, you will definitely remember those moments when you used to get completely lost in a particular thing. Some children like painting, some like to play with machines, while some enjoy writing stories. But as we grow up, this natural passion of ours gets suppressed. We get caught in the expectations of others and social pressure and forget what we really liked. Robert Greene says that every great person followed his childhood passion and made it his life work. Einstein was curious about mathematics and the universe. Since childhood, Leonardo da Vinci had a deep interest in nature and drawing. This was the real key to his success. If you try to find your passion, first of all, you have to free yourself from the rules made by the society. Often people scare us that nothing happens with passion. Do only that which can earn money. But history tells us that only those people who broke the rules made by the society moved ahead. Think if Steve Jobs had chosen only a safe career, would Apple have been born? If Thomas Edison had not developed a passion for experimentation, would we be in this light today? You have to recognize the voice of your mind. Pay attention to what things you are most interested in. Is there something while doing which you do not even realize the time? If yes, then that can be your true calling. If you are confused about what your real passion is, then start exploring yourself. Try different things. Take new experiences. Ask yourself, can I do this work even without any reward? If the answer is yes, then you are on the right path. Robert Greene says that the first step towards greatness is to identify your passion. This will not be easy, but if you find your true passion and make it your career, you will not only be successful, but also live a life that will give real satisfaction. Now the time has come to listen to the voice of your heart. Put aside what the world says and start your journey, because true mastery begins where you follow your true passion. Chapter 2. Follow the training process. Submit to the apprenticeship. When a child learns to walk, he falls again and again. But does he give up after falling? No, he gets up again, corrects his steps, and learns. This process applies to every field of life. No person becomes a master in a single day. Every great person has to go through an apprenticeship phase where he patiently learns, makes mistakes, corrects them, and gradually becomes proficient in his skills. But in today's world, people ignore this process. They see success as a shortcut. They want to become an expert overnight. You can become a master without putting in time and effort. But the truth is that no matter how talented a person is, he cannot move forward without training and apprenticeship. If you notice, there has been a period in the life of every great person when he learned from his mentors without any effort. Leonardo da Vinci worked as an apprentice for years with a painter, where he used to learn basic things like holding a brush and mixing colors for hours. Einstein also developed his thought process while working in a patent office. He did not become a great scientist directly, but first learned like a student, then did experiments, and finally became a master. In today's world, this apprenticeship process becomes even more important because we are in an era where there are many distractions. In this world of social media, internet, and shortcuts, people have lost patience. But if you really want to become a master in any field, then you will first have to adopt the mindset of learning like a student. This process will be difficult. In this, you will have to give up your ego, be ready to make mistakes, and learn from every failure. Many times, it will seem like this, that you are not reaching anywhere, but this is the time when you are actually developing. Apprenticeship does not mean only working, but adopting the art of learning. For this, first of all, it is necessary that you choose a right mentor. A mentor is someone who recognizes your weaknesses, guides you, and teaches you how to think correctly. If you take apprenticeship with the right mentor, then your learning speed can increase manifold. But apprenticeship is not limited to just working under a mentor. It is also a mindset. This is the stage when you spend time understanding the nuances of your field. You do deep observation, pay attention to small things, and learn something new from every experience. Robert Greene says that in this process, you will have to test your patience. In the beginning, you may have to do basic work whose importance you will not understand at that time, but these small steps will make you a master in the future. If you try to skip this step, then your foundation will remain weak, and you will never be able to achieve true mastery. Or keep in mind, no great artist, scientist, or a businessman cannot become great without apprenticeship. This is the phase where real growth takes place. This is the time when you hone your skills and gradually acquire expertise in your field. So be patient, adopt a learning mindset, and fully absorb the training process, because true mastery is achieved only by those who are ready to complete this difficult but necessary journey. Chapter 3. Be self-reliant and develop creativity. Absorb the master's power. There comes a time when the learning process is completed. You have passed through the door of apprenticeship, have understood every detail of your field, and now a new question arises in front of you: what next? Will you always remain under the shadow of others, or will you free yourself and take your knowledge to a new level? This is the turning point when you have to become self-reliant and fully develop your creativity. Every great person in the world at one time decided that now he will come out of the shadow of his mentors and do something new. When Leonardo da Vinci made his own painting for the first time, he did not remain just an artist, but he gave a new direction to art. When Einstein combined the knowledge taught by his guru with his imagination, he discovered the theory of relativity. This is the stage when you are not just a good student, but put yourself in the place of a master. But this change is not easy. When you are under a mentor, you always get a safe environment. But as soon as you come into the process of thinking and taking decisions on your own, a question arises. Am I doing the right thing? Will people accept my thinking? Will I be able to give something new in my field? These questions come to every person's mind. But the only difference is that those who achieve true mastery do not let the questions become an obstacle in their path. Robert Greene says that the most important thing at this stage is the courage to experiment. When you are in apprenticeship, you learn the rules. But when you move towards becoming a master, you should know how to break these rules. Great people are those who move beyond traditional thinking and try new things. They create their own identity instead of copying others. Now you have to understand that what you have learned was just a foundation. Now you have to build your own building on this foundation. And this building will stand only when you experiment with yourself. Make mistakes and then learn from them. Many people stop at this turn because they think that now their journey is over. But the truth is that this journey begins from here. If you want to achieve mastery in any field, then you have to free yourself from the limits that others have created. You have to give flight to your ideas, and you will have to bring out your hidden creativity. Every great artist, scientist, writer, or businessman has done this. They first learned, then twisted what they learned according to their own convenience, and finally created something that had never happened before. The biggest challenge in this journey will be whether you can believe in yourself or not. When you try to do something new, many people will try to stop you. They will say that this is not the right way, that you should adopt the old ways only. But if you keep walking on the path made by someone else, then you will never be able to reach your real potential. This is the time when you have to trust your inner self. You have to listen to your inner voice, because now you are not going to shine by becoming the shadow of others, but by your own light. When you understand this, then you not only become a master in your field, but also create something that takes the world forward. So overcome your fear. Let your creativity come out openly and establish yourself in this world in a new way. Because this is the last stage of true mastery, when you are not just a follower, but become a person from whom others can follow. People want to learn. Chapter 4. Develop inner vision and inner knowledge. See, people are they. No matter in which field you are working in the world, success does not depend only on your hard work or talent. A big part of it also depends on how deeply you understand people. Every human being keeps many layers hidden in his mind. The things that we see on the surface are not always the truth, but those who are insightful, who have the ability to recognize the real nature of people, they get ahead of others in every situation. When you see a person, the first thing you notice is his face, his body language, his way of talking. But behind these things is hidden his real personality, his fears, his desires, his intentions. If you can understand what a person is really thinking, then you will never be deceived and will be able to take your decisions more wisely. This art has always been in the great people. Leonardo da Vinci used to depict the eyes and facial expressions of people in his paintings so minutely, because he knew that the body language of every person reveals his real feelings. Napoleon Bonaparte, Steve Jobs understood his enemies not by their words, but by their gestures and decisions. People considered Steve Jobs a genius, but a big reason for his success was that he knew the potential of his employees very well. He knew whom to choose for which job and who was not right for his company. If you want to make your place in this world, then you too will have to learn this art. You will have to see people in their true form and not in the external form shown by them, but this is not easy. We often ignore the real truth of people by getting carried away by our emotions. When someone talks sweetly to us, we assume that he wants our well-being. When someone talks to us with a smile, we think that he is our friend. But is it always true? No, in this world, many people keep others in illusion for their own benefit. If you do not understand their real intentions, you can get hurt many times. The best way to do this is to learn observation. When you meet someone, do not just pay attention to what he says, but understand his expressions, the expressions in his eyes and his body language. What people say is not always true, but their body language never lies. If a person is pretending, then there will be a difference between his words and his facial expressions. If a person is lying, then his eyes will be restless, his body movements will be abnormal. Robert Greene says that only those who recognize the real nature of humans get true success in the world. They do not believe that the world is as they want it to be. Rather, they see it as it really is. They do not take wrong decisions by getting carried away by their emotions, but use their intuition to find the right people. Choose the right thing and make the right decisions. If you become proficient in this art, no one will be able to deceive you. No one will be able to mislead you. You will be able to understand every situation deeply and take your decisions with confidence. This is not just a skill, but a power. A power that can bring you to the forefront in any field. So learn to see people in their true form. Stop being influenced by superficial things and develop your inner vision and intuition. This is the sign of true mastery. Chapter 5. Master your skill. Awaken the dimensional mind. Imagine that you are a musician. In the beginning, you have to learn every note and every rhythm carefully. Your fingers do not sit on the guitar strings correctly. Your tunes often go wrong. But as you practice, all this becomes natural. There comes a time when you do not have to think. Your hands automatically catch the right strings. Your mind already knows what the next note will be. This is the state of mastery. When your mind takes the things you have learned to a new level instead of just repeating them. In every field, be it art, science, or business, if you want to master your skills, you have to develop your mind to a new level. This is the state which does not come overnight. To achieve this, you first have to immerse yourself completely in your work. When Michelangelo used to make sculptures, he would just look at the stone for months, touch it, try to feel the shape hidden inside it. When Einstein was working on his theories, he did not just look at the laws of physics, but he tried to see the structure of the universe with his mind's eye. Every great person who brought revolution in any field first developed his mind to such a level that he could see things in a new light. When you reach this stage in your field, you start looking at any problem from different perspectives. Now you are not limited to the learned rules, but make your own rules based on your experience and intuition. Great musicians create new tunes by mixing their learned ragas. Scientists create new theories based on their old discoveries. Business leaders break old strategies and bring something new. Dimensional thinking is when you are not just a follower, but become an innovator in your field. But this stage is not easy to reach. Most people stop after reaching a certain level. They learn and gain experience, but do not try to go beyond that. They think that they know enough now. But this is the mindset that prevents someone from becoming a master. People who truly achieve mastery never limit themselves. They try to improve their skills every day. They never stop learning. When you develop your mind in this way, your work is no longer just a result of hard work. It becomes an art. A skilled painter does not just use a brush. He tells a story in every stroke. An experienced doctor does not just prescribe medicines. He deeply understands every reaction of his patient's body. A successful businessman does not just earn money. He recognizes the pulse of the market and takes the right step at the right time. This is the stage when you become a master in your work. When you are not a slave to the rules, but create new rules yourself. To reach this level, you have to be patient and constantly push yourself. You will have to challenge yourself and learn from every failure. The deeper you go into your work, the more your mind will open new doors. You will have to learn the art of looking at things from a different perspective. You will have to break the boundaries that others have created for you. This is real mastery when you do not just repeat what you have learned, but become a creator yourself. Chapter 6. Achieve mastery, fuse the intuitive with the rational. Imagine a chess player who has been learning every move for years, deeply understanding the strategy of every game. He analyzes every move of his opponent, reads the patterns, and then decides his next move. But there comes a time when he stops thinking and just feels as if every move should happen automatically in his mind without any calculation. This has not come from experience alone, but there is a deep blend of the rational and the intuitive within him. This is real mastery when logic and intuition become one. When you embark on a journey to master any field, everything is logical in the beginning. You learn the rules, understand the patterns, see things in a sequence. But gradually, all this starts settling in your subconscious. Now, you do not need to memorize every rule because your mind and body adopt them naturally. Just like an experienced swimmer does not have to think every time before going into the water how to move his hands and legs, but the real mastery is when the intuitive and the rational merge. When you set out on a journey to master any field, everything is logical in the beginning. You learn the rules, understand the patterns, see things in a sequence. But gradually all this starts settling in your subconscious. Now you do not need to memorize every rule because your mind and body adopt them naturally. Just like an experienced swimmer does not have to think every time before going into the water how to move his hands and legs. But the real mastery is when the intuitive and the rational merge. Mother comes when you go beyond this process and connect to your intuitive power. It is said about Gautam Buddha that when he meditated, his consciousness expanded and he started understanding the deep mysteries of life. But note that this was not a miracle. He first developed his thinking so much that he could understand every problem with logic then. When the limits of logic ended, then his intuition awakened. This is the journey of every great person. First they learn, then practice, and finally their mind reaches such a height that now there is no need to think. When Einstein discovered the theory of relativity, it was not just the result of calculations. He himself used to say that this theory came to his mind as a visual imagination. He first saw it with his mind's eye, and then proved it with logic and calculation. This is the union of logic and intuition. When you understand any subject so deeply that it becomes a part of your subconscious, then you can take your knowledge to a new level. But the biggest obstacle here is that most people stop before reaching this level. Some people only use logic. They analyze everything deeply but are never able to awaken their intuition. On the other hand, some people depend only on intuition without any solid foundation. But those who become real masters learn to balance these two things. They take their knowledge to such a height that their every thought, every decision automatically starts going in the right direction. You can also reach this stage, but for this you will have to free yourself from limited thinking. You will first have to go deep into your field and assimilate every rule. But when you reach a certain level, you will have to go beyond the rules and develop your intuition. You will have to learn to recognize the signals that are hidden below the surface. When you reach this level, your abilities become extraordinary. You can take the right decision immediately in any situation. You can understand people not by their words, but by their energy. You can solve any problem not just by logic, but by your deep insight. This is the real mastery, when you combine logic and intuition and develop a mind that can solve any challenge easily. This is not a simple mastery. It is not magic, but a process. First learn it, then inculcate it in your subconscious, and then awaken your intuition. When you reach this level, you are not just a good professional, but a visionary. A person who can see things as they really are, and who can create new paths where there was no path before. This is the final stage where you truly achieve mastery. Conclusion. So far in this journey, we have seen that mastery is not magic, but a process. It is for those who are ready to go beyond their limits, who want to be extraordinary and not just average. In this book, Robert Greene teaches us that every person has a special calling. A passion that, if developed in the right direction, can lead to greatness. But this journey is not easy. You first have to go through your apprenticeship, i.e. the learning process. Then develop your mind to a dimension level where you can see things deeply. And finally, you have to combine your logic and intuition to create a mind that can solve any problem with ease. This is the real mastery, when you don't just follow the learned rules, but make new rules yourself and become a creator yourself. If we can reach this state of mastery in our life, then no field will be impossible for us. We can break the barriers that limit our thinking and do something extraordinary in our life. This is the art that made Leonardo da Vinci, Einstein, Steve Jobs, Michael Jackson, and every great person in the world immortal in history. If you liked this mastery book summary, then like the video and share it with your friends so that they can also benefit from this amazing knowledge. If you want to listen to such amazing book summaries, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel Next Level Book.